Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we take a look at this German, pretty much a kind of like a super heavy VK.45.02B. Now, this is, of course, is the tier 9 heavy tank, and it was a tank that I've always really been fond of. But yeah, over time, like, I wanted to make the video because I haven't made a video on this tank for a long time. And honestly, I really didn't enjoy playing it. Now, the turret arm at 265 is pretty good, but the hull at 208 is not so strong. DPM also isn't that strong at 2100, and the penetration, in my opinion, isn't fantastic at 263 and 327 on that APCR. Now, that is with me running calibrated shells. I didn't usually run calibrated shells on the tank, but playing it just to get some footage, yeah, I struggled to even penetrate an E100's like cheeks with APCR. So I thought, yeah, I've got to run it with calibrated shells. Now, as I've said, the tank is a tank that I've always sort of enjoyed playing. I really have, and my sole purpose of this video was to state how much I did enjoy the tank, and how I think you should play it, and how good the tank is in the right hands. But yeah, my opinion's definitely changed since beginning. Like I said, I meant to make the video for one reason, and now at the end of it, it's my mind's completely changed on the tank. So it's not a bad tank by all means, it really isn't. And so it obviously leads to the VK 72, which is a fantastic tank. But if you don't play this tank right, you are getting deleted. Honestly, you will get deleted if you do not play this tank right. Having said that, it is fantastic at a few things. Side scraping, it is very, very good at. Face hugging is not so good at, and of course, if you are in the open, then you're just going to get ripped apart. If you over angle when you are side scraping, you're going to get ripped apart. So yeah, there's only a couple of ways you can play this, and I do like the fact that it isn't the same as every other tank. You know, it's a rear turreted tank, as you can see. And a lot of tanks, you know, like the strong turret, you go hold down. So, and this ain't that, you know, yeah, it's got a decent turret. It has got a decent turret, but there are a lot of weak points on that turret. So if you are in a hold down position, you're not impenetrable. You know, people can still penetrate you. They can pen your cheeks. They can switch to premium rounds, and they will still be able to penetrate you. So the bit where this tank is really good is, as I said, when you are sort of side scraping. So when you do play the tank, I would strongly recommend you try and get in that side scraping position. If there's a wall, get up close, just like we're doing now, and try to side scrape as much as you can. But of course, if you do side scrape like we're doing here, don't make it easy for him. You know, look kind of like this. Don't show your cheeks whilst you're reloading. Otherwise, if you are just sat there side scraping, if you like now, that if I can see that guy, he can see me, he can see my cheeks. So do bear that in mind. And again, whilst you're on that reload, just try to hide the tank as much as you can. So there we go. And then if you do that, you will get the odd bounce. So it feels like it's lagging a bit at the moment. So yeah, I haven't, like, once you've done that, if you do get in that side scraping position, you will perform a lot better on the tank. Honestly, you will perform better. You'll feel that the tank is better than you would if you're playing it sort of just in like we are now, kind of. If you just play the tank like we are now, where we're just pushing forward, then that is where the tank does not succeed very well. Yeah, so I like to sort of side scrape at the beginning of the game. I try not to go too far forward, and again, it all depends, of course, on the map that you're on. There's not always positions and the enemy's positions that will allow you to side scrape. So like here, you know, we've got the AMX 5120 in front of us. I don't really care about that guy at the moment. You know, I want to support my player over there, and I'm happy to take a shot from the AMX. As long as I'm supporting him, 2 tanks on 1 is better than 1 on 1. So I'm ignoring the AMX for now and trying to keep my guy alive. So now I've cleared the Tiger 2, it leaves him alone up there against the Glacial. So I'm happy kind of to ignore him at the moment and then go for the AMX, who is now trying to destroy our defender. So yeah, again, I'm trying to make it always so it is 2 tanks on 1. It's a 3 versus 4, you know, so 2 tanks on 1 is fantastic. And considering the AMX is not looking at me, I have brought him down to a 1-shot, but luckily for me, it is now a 2 versus 4, but this guy he's on a big reload, so I can just push forward. Now again, if you are in the open, yeah, of course, I'd always recommend you guys to face hug, but don't just sit there, you know, move your turret, move your track side to side, don't make it easy for them. If you just sit there face hugging someone without moving, they will be able to find a weak point, and that is the thing with this tank. Anyone will be able to find that weak point. Of course, against tier 8, it's going to be a little bit harder, but it really isn't. When you come up against this tank, it really isn't that difficult to deal with unless it is in that side scraping position. It's not the quickest of tanks out there. As you can see, even the turret traverse here is I get half a mile down the road before the turret turns. So yeah, it's not the quickest of tanks. The mobility, I mean, it isn't bad. 30 kilometers per hour the tank goes. So yeah, it's not like a really bad tank, but I just feel that it could be better. Now again, before I played this tank to make the video, I was like, I'm going to go into this and tell you guys how amazing this tank is, because the last time I played it, I remembered it being absolutely amazing, but trying to get footage for the thing, I did struggle, and I'm like, why are they penning me? How are they penetrating me? They should not be penetrating me in this kind of position, but they were, you know, even at the end there, the AT-15, like tier 8, yeah, no problem. I didn't bounce a single shot from him. So yeah, being in the open on flat ground is not the best for this tank. So that's my game. Nice little mastery badge there. Now we're going to move on to another game. So this time we're on mines. Well, we're not, but the player who I've got the replay for is on mines. And I did want to still show this game because I did still want to show the true potential of the tank. If you can get that tank in the right position, in the right angles, you can still perform really, really well. But there's just a lack of options, in my opinion, with the tank. You know, hold down, yeah, of course, tier 8s, you might get the bounces if you are in a hold down. As long as you're moving your turret, you may get them bounces. But give them time, give them the opportunity, then they will be able to penetrate you. But when you are sort of side hugging, side scraping, then that is where this tank really does shine. So we're going to continue watching the game. Now that 53 TP is a 1-shot. So is our guy going to clear him, or is he going to let his team? Nope, he's going to clear him. And you can see he's still getting bounces, like even troll bounces from the rear there. He did get a bit lucky to get those bounces, but you can't normally rely on the rear armor of this thing. Even the side armor, if you turn sideways, again, that is really weak as well. The front plate is really weak. Even the upper plate, people can switch to premium rounds and they still will be able to penetrate you. So far, our guy has 1,600 damage. He's bounced 575 and now up to 80. Now, this does have tungsten shells as well, which does help the tank. It goes that little bit more alpha. If you can get the shot off, of course, you could do sort of over 600 damage per shot. So yeah, having the tungsten shells has really helped the tank. But yeah, side scrape, side scrape, side scrape. That is what you want to be doing in this tank. Angle. You need to angle that tank. And even if you do find yourself in the middle of the map, just try to angle that tank. You know, don't just sit there face on, facing someone. At least try to angle your tank to make it more difficult. Angle and wiggle. Wiggle as much as you can. But of course, you want to be finding a building. You want to be finding a rock that you can angle this tank from. And if you do that, you'll find you will bounce a hell of a lot more shots. Again, like our guy has here, 1600 block damage. He's on 3100 damage. It is, however, a 3 versus 5, so there is still a lot of work to do. Now, the 53 TP is gone. That just leaves down the bottom there the IS-6 against 3 tanks, I think it is down there. Just about to be 4 if the Chieftain drops down. So there goes the Pantera. 2 kills for him, 4000 damage, and yeah, he really needs to kill one of these guys, because if he's not able to kill this guy, then it is going to be trouble for him. But the IS-6 is doing a good job. He's staying alive as long as possible, but sadly he does get taken out. So it is now a 1 versus 3. 461, nice shot there. That brings him to 5100 damage. Now, yes, it is a 1 versus 3, but there's still 4 minutes left on the clock. He's got plenty of time. He's got plenty of hit points. He has got the higher ground as well. So he just needs to relax, be patient, and let them come to him. And again, as soon as he turns his hull, he gets the bounce, where if he would have just stayed in that position, he would have been penetrated. So again, even if you haven't got the opportunity to get close to a building, just try to angle, and that's exactly what he did, and it paid off. So he has taken out the standard B. Now he really needs to take out this Chieftain to be in with a good chance. But 2200 damage block, 6100 damage, another block damage. Again, he comes in at an angle. He doesn't go in directly facing them. He comes out at an angle, and that is exactly, again, what he's trying to do here. He's trying to angle through the Chieftain, and he's trying to face hug this guy right here. Now, unfortunately, he did bounce his shots. He's still got 1100 hit points. Well, 800 hit points. And this is what I'm saying. This guy is a tier 8, and he's face hugging him, and he still penetrated him very, very easily. So yeah, you can be penetrated even if you are face hugging. So now it is a 1 versus 1. He's still got a few hit points. However, the Chieftain's got good DPM, but not fantastic, and he does manage to take him out. So overall, a brilliant 1 versus 3. Totally deserved the victory. 7,000 damage, and a very, very nice game. So 3,455 block damage, and that is all because he was trying to angle his tank, and that is what you need to do to be a success in this tank. So let me know your thoughts on the tank. Do you like it, or do you absolutely hate it? I'm Meadsy, thanks for coming, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.